When we first saw this, we didn't believe it either. But in an astonishing turn of events, an enigmatic secret phrase has emerged which promises to get any prayer answered at any time. Wealth, health, abundance. Suddenly, it's all within reach, and it only takes minutes to see the results. The phrase is steeped in mystery, and there are many questions about its origin. But this phrase is surrounded by a growing fervor and has ignited the curiosity of millions worldwide. The secret phrase, which seems to be nothing more than a simple prayer, is said to have been passed down through generations of spiritual seekers and whispered only among a select few. Believers claim that uttering this cryptic combination of words during prayer can unlock a direct line to the divine, guaranteeing an answer to any request. And you know what? They're completely right. As you'll see, are you intrigued by the enigmatic secret phrase that promises to answer your prayers? While this simple phrase holds the potential for literal divine intervention, it's crucial to be aware of the ethical implications that come with it. Don't fall victim to those seeking personal gain around this prayer. If you just watch this until the end, we're going to guide you and ensure your safety on this transformative journey. Because in a world where hope and guidance are sought after by vulnerable individuals, unscrupulous opportunists have emerged, claiming to possess the key to unlocking the secret phrase's power. They prey on your desire for miracles, financial windfalls, white-hot romance, and healings, but their motives are far from pure. This secret code works for atheists and believers alike. The results are nothing short of shocking. Hi, I'm David Riflin, and you just stumbled upon the most cutting-edge mind hack in the history of manifestation. This hack is for the most hardened atheist who doesn't believe in anything and never uttered a prayer in his entire life. And it's for the devout Buddhist or the pious nun who have prayed their entire life and everyone in between. This video is for anyone who believes they are worthy of getting more out of life. This is not about your church hymns, King David Psalms, or anything you learned in school. This is a neutral, powerful manifestation technique that works instantly and is unknown to any guru on the planet. It is the key to having every kind of blessing in your life manifest. Everything you could possibly imagine. Vibrant health, a beautiful, loving spouse who gets you. Effortless wealth. Wealth that starts small and grows and comes to you more easily every day, so you can quit your job and retire way ahead of time and live out your glory years in style on a beach somewhere. And energy. Oh, the energy you will have. Boundless energy that will power you into your 80s so you can be giving your grandchildren piggyback rides at 85 without any aches and pains. No trouble getting up the stairs, without any cognitive decline, brain fog, Alzheimer's, or dementia. This will ensure you always can get out of the beanbag chair without any embarrassment. You can avoid all the ills of aging and live longer than you ever expected if you know this manifestation secret. My true love for this technique is what it does for my brain. My memory is sharp as a razor since I started using this. I have more creativity than I ever had. My focus is on point. I can write for 8 hours, and I wrote this letter you're reading now in under an hour. It just flowed from me. Everything seems to flow for me these days, from a fountain that can only be described as coming from the source of all things, because I use this technique for 5 minutes every morning, and it lasts me the entire day. This technique draws down blessings in every aspect of your life. I'd like to explain to you exactly what this hack is, but if you're going to get the most out of this presentation, which won't be up long, I need you to follow a few instructions. First off, find a quiet space. This could be a spare room in your house, a park bench, or even your car. Eliminate distractions. Once you have found your quiet space, eliminate any distractions that may pull your focus away. Turn off your phone, close the door, and listen to this video through headphones if possible. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and exhale slowly. Repeat this a few times until you feel relaxed and centered. Close your eyes and set an intention. I will watch this video until it's completely over and until I have learned everything it has to teach me, because I know doing so will change my life for the better. Repeat that 3 times. When you feel ready, open your eyes and begin your focused intention on that, which will change the direction of your entire life. So, back to our question. Where did Gandhi get the power to do everything that he did, more than any human alive could ever do? There's only one answer. He got all of that power from prayer. But not just any prayer, a special kind of prayer. History tells us that Mahatma Gandhi considered prayer to be the most important aspect of his life and the most important element in his success in social and political activism. He was deeply spiritual and believed in the power of prayer as a means of connecting with God and cultivating inner strength and guidance. Gandhi often spoke about the importance of prayer and meditation in his writings and speeches. He saw prayer as a way of expressing gratitude, seeking forgiveness, and asking for guidance and strength in the face of challenges. For him, prayer was not just a religious practice, but a way of life that helped him stay grounded and focused on his goals. As he fasted, he would often pray and meditate to strengthen his resolve and connect with his innermost beliefs and values. Overall, Gandhi saw prayer as a key part of his personal and political life, and he believed that it was essential for anyone seeking to live a life of purpose and service to others. Gandhi said, "Prayer is the key of the morning and the bolt of the evening. Prayer is not asking. It is a fervent aspiration of the soul. It is the admission of your weakness, your dependence upon God, and your hunger for His strength and His righteousness. And prayer is not an old woman's idle amusement. Properly understood and applied, it is the most potent instrument of action." But I'm guessing you're not really interested in prayer, and you're not interested in taking on a massive empire either. I'm guessing you're here because you want results. You want to use prayer to get what you want in life. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to be better partners. We're going to have better sex, a stronger mind, more money in the bank. This is what truly matters to you, and to me as well. I don't view prayer as an end unto itself. To me, it's a tool to get what I want. And the truth is, prayer, done right, is the most direct, most powerful tool to get what you want, bar none. This is not about connecting to God. If you want to connect to God, this will help you do that in a big way. But that's not the intention here. This is prayer on steroids. It's not what you learned in Sunday school. But most of all, this is about results. If I can't add a zero to your income with the kind of prayer I teach, then I don't deserve your attention, and I'll gladly refer you to someone else that can help you. But I'm not going to need to do that, because you will not just see results in days, you will see results today. Admit it. You are just a little curious about this because you know something. You know that if prayers actually were answered on a consistent basis, then you can change your life entirely. Just think about what your life would be like if all your prayers were answered. Imagine you could utter a few words and meet your soulmate. Imagine you could utter a few words and find a parking spot. Imagine you utter a few words and that window with the spinning wheel that you almost gave up on suddenly loads. Imagine you utter a few words and you feel more powerful. Imagine you utter a few words and you can do twice as much as before. Imagine uttering a few words and you get a phone call a few minutes later from someone who wants to cut you in on a business deal. I'm not saying you'll be able to fly, but I am saying that short of that, there's nothing you can't have. You know that throughout history, people have always prayed without exception. So you know that if it became that popular and stayed that popular until today, then it must contain some power. You just don't think it's a power we can actually control and make predictions with. But that's where you're wrong. Bottom line, you want to learn the secret to prayer because you have a hunch that it might help you live a life of happiness that doesn't just depend on your circumstances. True happiness, inner joy that makes you feel like you're walking on air. A joy so strong that even that nastiest comment on your Instagram rolls right off you. Because you're happy with exactly what you have. You wonder if there is some way that prayer could give you success in every aspect of life, just like I'm experiencing right now. Personally, I've got the wife of my dreams. More on her in a minute. And I've never felt better. I've never been better in the bedroom, and my income has gone up over $100,000 in the past 2 years. I've taken blood tests to have told me that I have the blood of a 30-year-old, and I'm actually 43. Knock on wood, but my life is so amazing, I don't even tell people about it because they either don't believe me or they get jealous and I don't need that bad energy. So I succeed at life quietly and humbly and full of gratitude for this prayer secret because it truly unlocks every dream you've ever had. And it all happens so quickly, you won't believe your eyes. I enjoy a relationship that drips with passion every day of the week because there is a simple prayer you can do for 5 minutes that pulls in your soulmate and makes him or her yours forever. and it actually works. There's a simple prayer for hitting your goals each day, and this puts you on a path of exponential success that people only dream of. There is a simple prayer that doubles your energy, which allows you to make double the money. Let's face it, you want a life of recognition, and you want envy from your peers. You want influence over others, and popularity if that's what you want. You want a life of purpose and meaning, whether that means having a career that complements your values or having a hobby that makes you feel like you're making a difference in people's lives. You deserve a career that makes you jump out of bed each morning like a lion because you're so damn glad to be alive. Every day is like that for me. I don't roll out of bed anymore. I jump out of bed because I love my life after knowing and using this secret. But most of all, you want to use prayer to make money easily and abundantly. You don't want to have to worry about outliving your money. You don't want to have to dread paying the bills. You want to be able to hire someone to do that. Heck, maybe you want to be stinking rich. That's okay. This will help you get there. You might want to travel in style, first class or private jet, your choice. You might want to stay in high-end hotels or resorts and go on ridiculously extravagant cruises, cars, yachts, and designer clothing and accessories. It's all on the table. You may want to own multiple homes, some for vacations and some for investments. You may want to be able to write a $100,000 check to the Make-A-Wish Foundation and get pictures every day of kids that you made smile, and that will make you smile. You may want to waltz into bars, clubs, and events that other people simply can't get into, and you want to feel bad for the fact that you don't feel bad, that everyone else is stuck out waiting in the cold. This prayer hack doesn't judge you for your lifestyle. It just works, whether you believe in it or not. And if you ask me, you deserve all of it. Everyone deserves to be happy. We only live once. And now, with this prayer technology, it's possible. And you can have all of it. Just imagine if prayer actually worked. Just imagine you pray for something and you get it that day. You want a raise? You say a short prayer, walk into your boss's office, and walk out with a 25% pay increase. You say a small prayer and the most gorgeous woman you've ever seen actually bumps into you in the grocery store and asks for your number. If only prayer actually worked, right? And the scientists are saying that it really doesn't. They tried this project in 1944, which is the study of the therapeutic effects of prayer. They tried the Mantra 3 study, which stands for Monitoring Actualization Noetic Training in 1984, and the Cochrane Collaboration in 1993. In these studies, people prayed once a day, sometimes over the course of weeks, and they didn't find that remote prayer had any measurable effect. But I have some questions. In these studies, what level of prayer skill were these people at? Were they prayer experts? Did they have any education about what makes prayer effective? Or did they just rattle off something they learned in Catholic school? Because when it comes to surgery, you don't bring in a 5th grader who read a biology book to make the incision and wonder why you've got a bloody mess. That's what those experiments are like. We're in the process of getting real experiments done. More on that in a moment. The truth is, these people they studied were at best on skill level 1 or 2 of prayer, but they were praying at a 5th grade level. So is it any wonder that it didn't work? They had basically no training in how to pray. Not only do they not know how to properly use intention in prayer, the prayers they're using themselves are proven not to work in most situations. So if you've got the wrong people, training, and the wrong tools, would any rational person expect such an experiment to yield a positive result? Now we're doing our own study with our Divine Dialogue, and we're seeing an over 80% success rate on remote prayers from the start of the prayer to results on the same day. And our results happen fast. We can see noticeable changes in a person's life from uttering just one of these Divine Dialogue, said with our instruction, said with the proper training. You're probably wondering who I am and how I got to know so much about prayer. How have I been so successful since I found the secret to prayer? So let me share my story. In 1979, I was born to Jewish parents, and we kept to the basics of the holidays, but not much more. Passover, Hanukkah, Yom Kippur, and that was basically it. I went to Sunday school from 1st grade to 5th grade, where I mostly checked out the other Jewish girls in my class, instead of paying attention to the Hebrew alphabet. This is a pretty typical story for a Jewish kid, but my life was about to become anything but ordinary. At 26, I caught the eye of a beautiful woman named Sarah. We went for coffee, and we married a few months later. Biggest mistake of my life. This was a woman I really didn't know, but the marriage I always thought was going pretty good until one day, which I call D-Day. I come home from work one day, and Sarah is literally packing everything she owns into suitcases. I said, going on a vacation? She says, no. "Well then, what's this about?" She said, "I can't take it anymore. I'm leaving, and I'm not coming back. I'll pick up the kids tomorrow afternoon." It was like a knife in my heart, and that was all she said. I knew there must have been somebody else. Why else would she have late-night PTA meetings 3 times a week? The thought of this made me literally throw up. I recovered from that, but my heart didn't recover. This was a trauma I would not be able to just wipe away. In divorce court, Sarah wasn't getting exactly everything she wanted, so she came up with a Hail Mary to give her the upper hand in the case. She said, "He used to hit the kids with a belt until they cried." Oh no, she didn't, I thought to myself. This was a total lie. I never hit my children once in my life, and here she is making up bullcrap to squeeze another $500 a month from me in alimony. I was speechless. The judge bought what she said, and I paid the price. She sat back smugly in her chair, and I thought to myself, I don't even know who this woman is. I don't know if I ever knew her. The knife in my heart had been turned, and I went into a deep depression. I missed work so much, I got fired, and I just didn't see any reason for me to be on this planet anymore. When I went to sleep one night, I told myself that, tomorrow, I'm going to figure out how I want to die. Strangely, I fell asleep really quickly that night, and that's when the dream started. Well, it was more like a nightmare. In my dream, I was surrounded by what I can only call demons. They looked like bats, but they were as tall as human beings. They had beady red eyes that were penetrating me. They were laughing at me. I wanted to get out of the circle of hell, but they were surrounding me from all sides. That's when I started to pray. I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't remember those Sunday school prayers, so I just talked to God like he was a person. I said, God, if you're out there, please don't abandon me. I won't kill myself. Just let me out of the circle of darkness. If you do, I'll appreciate every day on this earth. And at that moment, a big hand came and picked me up and plopped me in a lush forest. There were trees, brooks, and rainbows, and it was really quiet and peaceful. Was this the Garden of Eden? I never found out. But I knew one thing. I didn't want to leave. Then I start to hear chanting. It was like the same 7 words being repeated over and over, like some kind of mantra. They got closer and closer. I was dying for them to come to me because the sound of the chanting was so beautiful. It sounded like the singing of angels. Sure enough, they came upon me, and they surrounded me, just like the demons. But this time, it was heaven, not hell. These men were all wearing pure white, seemed like silk robes. They had long beards and side locks, just like the Hasidic Jews I had heard about. Their faces were so radiant, and their eyes were filled with love and compassion. They chanted for what seemed like over an hour, and it filled me with strength and vigor. After this chanting, I knew things were going to be okay. I knew I was going to live and have a good life. I thanked them. And the leader of the group said, we'd like you to join us in prayer. Please take this. And he gave me a wrinkled piece of paper with an address on it. And then, like a bolt of lightning, I shot up. I was wide awake. But the paper, where was the paper? I reminded myself that you can't take papers from dreams. But the address on the paper was burned in my brain. Google told me it led to an apartment building in Brownsville, New York. One of the worst neighborhoods in the country. That was quite a trek from South Carolina where I lived. But I was fascinated with the idea that these angel-like people might actually exist there. True, a trek there would be dangerous. But I would give anything to get back to their prayer group. I found my peace with those men. So I got myself some pepper spray, took a flight, took a cab, and started to walk towards the building. I knock on the door, and sure enough, the man who answered the door had the beard and the locks, and he said, we've been waiting for you. Please come in. I stepped into the apartment. The walls are covered with what appeared to be holy books. The wives of these men were dressed completely modestly, and they were in the kitchen cooking up a storm. My arrival, I guess, was a cause for celebration. Also, there were the most beautiful candlesticks I had ever seen. I was sure they were pure silver. The angel men were there, warming up, getting ready for a prayer session, and I couldn't wait to get started. They handed me a holy book. It was worn. It looked like it had been cried upon many times. Before they started, I just had to ask one of the men my burning question. I said, sir, if I may, you guys could do this anywhere. Why do this in the most dangerous neighborhood in the U.S.? Trust me, you could get a lot more people if you moved to a better spot in town. He smiled warmly. He said, son, we're not interested in more people. We're interested in you, and that's enough. And as far as the dangers, our prayers protect us. I later found out that the locals of the neighborhood had a lot of love and respect for these angel men, and nobody would lay a finger on them. In fact, they protected them any way they could. They were probably safer there than they would anywhere. I couldn't believe my good luck. I was somehow chosen by these men, chosen by God perhaps. I couldn't understand why, but they really wanted to help me. I told them their home was beautiful, but I came for one reason. I just want to pray. And one of them said, I was hoping you'd say that. We prayed for over 2 hours that day. No food, no water, just like Gandhi. We didn't need food. We were living off a prayer. And the prayer filled us up like nothing could. I began to realize that this was all I needed in my life. But I was about to get a whole lot more. I finally asked the group, who are you guys? They didn't hesitate. One of the men spoke up and said, we are the Melachim. They call us the angels. We're not actually angels. We're human beings who have worked very hard on ourselves. We have been chosen to be an intermediary between the human realm and the angel realm. We pray according to their system, and we've been doing so for 40 years in private. With our prayers, we can make anything happen, and we always knew we were meant to help someone from the outside eventually, and we believe that is you. We know the suffering you have gone through. I couldn't believe it. I had infiltrated the most secret prayer society on earth, intermediaries with the angels, and they actually cared about me. I was never so happy until this part. The leader spoke and said, at this point, you can ask for whatever you want. Say what you want out loud. We will answer amen, and it will come to pass very soon thereafter. Only pray for good things, or this could be very dangerous. I said with a tear in my eye, all I want right now is to see my kids. My ex-wife lied about. They stopped me. They said we don't need to hear about the problem. We don't dwell on negativity or say anything about a fellow human. Just focus on the solution. One of them looked up and said, this young man wants to be reunited with his children. Let us all say amen. And they did. The amen really boomed. I thought people might be able to hear it in the next room, but it didn't matter. I was filled with light and hope. This whole circle was nothing short of godly. When I got home that day, there was a message from my lawyer. I called him back. He says, I have a novel defense for you that I think could get your children back. I couldn't believe it. It was really happening. My prayers were being answered, just like they said. We brought it before the judge. It cleared my name. And within a week, I had my kids back and I was seeing them once every other week, which wasn't much, but it meant the world to me. And it meant the world to them. I went back to the Melachim a few days later. We prayed for 2 hours again. This time, I asked to find my true soulmate. They said, amen. And I just waited for it to manifest. That same day, I'm at Trader Joe's. I'm picking out a banana and one of them falls to the ground. A woman near me goes down to pick it up, but I was also going down to pick it up and we clonk heads together like we're in some sort of Three Stooges sketch. She said, I'm such a klutz. This kind of stuff always happens to me. I said, no kidding. This kind of stuff always happens to me. We're made for each other, I said with a smirk. That was my attempt at a joke, but I think she kind of liked the idea. We went for a Cinnabon, and after that, we were inseparable. I was nervous about where this was going. Would I get hurt again? One good sign was my kids really liked her. That was important. Turns out, she's Jewish too. Rachel is her name, my current wife of 1.5 years, and we've never loved each other more. And get this, she's pregnant. When she got pregnant, I went by the Melachim and asked what I should name the boy. Everyone looked to the leader, and he said, don't call him any name until he is born. This is very important, but when he's born, you must call him Gabriel, after the archangel who blessed you. I was walking on air, and I could shorten that to Gabe, and that's a pretty cool name. This alone completely changed my life. I was so far from suicide, I couldn't even imagine it. Everything felt right, and I knew it was because of my prayers with the Melachim. One day, I went in and they greeted me warmly. I said, I'm embarrassed to ask for this. And one of the Melachim said, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. God hears the prayers of every heart. I said, well, here's the thing. Right now, I'd really like to make more money. I'm in debt and I'm not even making my... One of them said, shh, it doesn't matter. Everyone deserves the blessing of financial health. I never thought of it like that. I wasn't financially healthy, and I wanted to be. We said amen, and I was off, just waiting to see what would manifest. That same day of the prayer, I opened the mail, and there's an envelope, and I could see through the window that it was a check from the U.S. Treasury Department. See, I was the victim of a big scam a few years prior, and it apparently affected thousands of people. I read online that scammer was caught, but would I get any money back? I didn't think so. Nothing good like this ever happened to me. But with the prayers of the Melachim, my luck had changed. And this check was made out for over $100K, taking me totally out of debt and allowing me to pay off every bill and have $30K of fun money left over. My money troubles were over. The money has been coming in steadily in many ways for over a year now. Promotions, success at online business in my spare time. It's like I'm a money magnet now. I didn't even know what else to pray for after that. I had everything I wanted. The prayers gave me boundless energy. I was filled with love and holiness. My health was on point. I just knew I was going to live longer from all this. So when it came time to meet, they asked me what I wanted. I said to the Melachim, I have nothing to ask for. I have everything I want. I'm truly happy, and I want to thank God and your gentlemen for letting me into your lives. They said, even though we may have everything, we still must pray. I said, okay, but like I said, I have nothing to ask for. My life is awesome. The leader spoke up. He said, let me tell you a story. There was a man lost in the desert. He had no water. He was going to die. Then, all of a sudden, he found a beautiful tree. And if there's a tree, that means there's water nearby. Sure enough, he finds water and he satisfies his thirst. Then he enjoys some of the berries that were growing from that tree. He was so grateful and he decided he was going to bless the tree. But he thought, what should he bless it with? Delicious fruit? It already has delicious fruit. Should I bless it with a stream nearby? It already has a stream nearby. Should I bless it with a strong trunk? It already has a strong trunk. Should I bless it with green leaves? It already has green leaves. He thought, and God eventually gave him the answer. He said, tree, oh tree, you have been so good to me. I bless you that all the trees that come out of you should be as wonderful as you are. Now, David, you came to us when you were in hell, and now your life is totally good. That means it is time to pray to make others as wonderful as you. That was my moment to go for the gold. I said, well, I've been thinking about sharing this with others. I really do want to teach people how to pray like you do, but I don't have the knowledge to be able to do it myself. I only have the power when I'm with you all. Where does all that power come from? How do you make prayers and make them fulfilled the same day? He pointed to one of the men. He said, Ezra will teach you. At that point, we stopped praying and started studying. We launched into the most complex teachings about the cosmos and the ways God created the world. It was all so fascinating, but I didn't see what it has to do with prayer until later. He had woven a tapestry, and after about 2 weeks, he tied it all together. When the training was over, it all clicked. I knew exactly how to make any prayer work at any time, for anything, and this filled me with joy, and I knew I had to share it. He said, share this with your friends and family. Teach them the secret of prayer. And so I did. First, I taught it to my brother. He had chronic pain from a skiing accident. He could still work, he could still function, but every day was another struggle through the pain, and there was nobody he could really talk to about it. I said, let's talk for an hour each night. He said, I'm a busy man, David. I said, just give me 2 weeks. It'll be worth it. And I started to teach him everything I learned, how to really make prayer effective. After a few lessons, he said a certain warmth had overtaken him and it was traveling to his spine. Every day he would tell me how he couldn't believe it, but the pain was dissipating. By the time the 2 weeks were over, his pain was completely gone, and he said this, if anyone gets the chance to study from David, please take the offer. What he teaches is deep and real, and it gets real results. Then I started to teach it to my neighbor. She was a rape victim, and she was having a hard time getting over the trauma. This had gone on for years. I said, give me 2 weeks, and she did. We studied, we did our prayers, we answered amen. And she said she felt the emotional pain in her stomach was lifting. She started to feel better. She was starting to feel like she could take on the day. Within 2 weeks, the pain was totally gone. She said, the Divine Dialogue is incredible. It completely changed my life and the life of my entire family. We all benefited from having Mom back. Nobody should have to go through what I went through. But if you do, just make sure you know the Divine Dialogue because it's the Savior. Believe me, this is straight from God. And that brings me to you. You're next. Let's think about it. If I were to coach you on this for 2 weeks, you'd be paying me $5,000. That's what my time is worth. Obviously, I'm not going to charge you $5,000 because this isn't coaching, but it is exactly what I teach in my coaching sessions. Nothing is left out. A lot of the program is actually recordings from my coaching sessions. So we figured $997 would be a fair price. That's 1/5 of the original price, and you get the same results as our coaching students. You should know that the Divine Dialogue was created with a lot of care. I made sure you get every detail, and I make sure it's easy and fun so you stick it out until the end. The results people get with the Divine Dialogue are exactly the same results people get in the coaching program, so you're not missing out on anything. But we thought long and hard about this, and we realized how many people are suffering out there, and how so many people don't have any savings. And I don't want anyone to miss out on the power of the Divine Dialogue because of money. That's why we dropped the price to $777. Then, after more thought, we decided to drop the price to $447. And then we said, what the hell? Let's just give it away. This way, everyone can afford it. So we dropped the price to less than half a Benjamin. And as nuts as that is, it gets better than that. Trust me. I have enough money. I don't need your half a Benjamin. I just know that if you charge nothing, people think it's worth nothing. I want you to be invested, and I want you to really go through the program until you're getting consistent results. So I'm giving you the rock bottom price for a limited time. Then we go back to at least triple the price. But as you'll see, you only have to pay it if you want to. See, I'm very confident with the Divine Dialogue. If you don't go through the materials, I can promise you won't get results. But if you do learn the materials, take action, or should I say speak the words I tell you to speak, I guarantee you'll get results. In fact, if you don't get incredible results, and incredible means whatever you want it to mean, I will shoot your money back and have it in your bank account in 1 to 2 days. The email address you need to use to get your refund is right there in the members area. Getting a refund is quick and easy, and you have 365 days to decide if you want the refund. That's plenty of time to see if the prayers are working. With this guarantee, there's no way you can lose. This either changes your life or the program is free. Heck, even if it changes your life and you want the money back, I'll give it to you. I won't even withdraw your money to my bank account until the 365 days are over. That way, the money you paid is waiting for you whenever you want it. Am I worried about making such a bold guarantee? I should be, right? My entire business will go under if I don't get you results. That means the risk is entirely on me. But I'm cool as a cucumber because I've seen 10,489 people by now who took this course, and everyone has a positive experience. We have virtually no refund requests except for one guy who couldn't open the documents. Why so few refunds? Because Divine Dialogue really works. We are working with the NIH and trying to get them to do another experiment, but this time with master prayer experts well versed in the Divine Dialogue. We'll see what happens, but it's only right that they do it, because the results they will see from these kinds of prayers will be off the charts. Let's think about this logically. If you try this, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But if you don't try it, you definitely will regret it. So what do you want? A shot at greatness? A whole new perspective on the world? Or certain regret? No one has accomplished anything in this world without taking a chance. Yes, it's scary, even if it's just less than half a Benjamin. I know things are tight these days, but bravery isn't not being scared. Bravery is when you're scared and you move forward anyway. So go ahead and hit the button below. Fill out the form, and let's make your dreams a reality, no matter what you want. If you don't do this, you will never know if this would have turned your life around or not. You will always have that feeling in the pit of your stomach which says, damn, I wonder what would have happened if I got that program. Fill out the form now. This may be your last chance. Now, realize that this is totally guaranteed to work. You won't even lose any time because the materials are so short, and the prayers are so short. So you don't risk time, and you don't risk money. If you're too scared to do this, what will you do? Because you've got to do something. The status quo is not okay. You're on the page and you watched this far because you want better than the status quo. And this will do it for you. This is not just for the religious person. And it's not just for the atheist. This is for the results-oriented person. The one who wants to see their dreams manifest before their eyes. In health, wealth, romance, and happiness. You risk nothing. And I promise you everything. When people meet me, they see my shine. They immediately ask me, what diet are you on? Or what meditation are you doing? I say, it's just the Divine Dialogue. Divine Dialogue is all I do. So think about that. This is going to save you that yoga class. This is going to replace all the breathing exercises. I'm not saying you shouldn't still do those things, because they're good for you. Do them, but you won't need them to find peace in your life. You will find peace through Divine Dialogue. You will finally get what you want in life. So hit that button below and fill out the form. Because honestly, why not? You can get your money back at any time, even today, for any reason. We won't ask why, even if you just don't like the colors in the members area. That's enough for a refund, but I know that won't happen. You're going to be glued to these videos because they are going to change you from the inside out. I mean, this course was practically written by half-angel people. Don't you want to know how those guys think? Aren't you a little bit curious? Of course you are. So hit the button below, fill out the form. This is your life we're talking about, not a game. Your health, your energy, all will improve with the Divine Dialogue. That's like a new lease on life. I want you to have that extra energy if that's what you want. I want you to pull attractive, healthy, kind people into your orbit like you're a force of gravity. You can have that life. You can breathe the fresh air and have it feel like the first breath you ever took. It can taste so sweet you can't describe it. This is not just about results. This is about your quality of life as a human being. Every day you're on this earth, things can be better than they are. Things can get better every day. So hit the button below and fill out the form. Your life is now going to change. I want to give this same knowledge to you because I know you're struggling in some way or you wouldn't be here. Maybe it's financial. Maybe you're part of the 30% who have no savings and that scares you. Maybe you're lonely. 25% of you are scared to approach the opposite sex. Maybe you're struggling with your health. Diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver, kidney stones. Maybe it's mental health. Maybe you suffer from bipolar or schizophrenia. Maybe you're a hoarder or an anorexic. No matter what it is, you deserve a salvation. Everyone does. And things really can get better. I know you don't believe it, but they can. It may take a few more stories to really know for sure that this is for you and that it will help, but it can. Just let me teach you what the Melachim taught me. It only takes a few minutes a day. It's so deep and so practical, you'll love it. And once you've been through the 2 weeks, you'll have a master's degree in prayer. Your prayers will be answered almost immediately, just as happened with a friend named Lisa T. She said, "In my life, I've recited the Lord's Prayer, also known as the Our Father, a prayer taught by Jesus to his disciples found in the Bible in Matthew 6:9-13 and Luke 11:2-4. The Hail Mary, a prayer to Mary, the mother of Jesus, commonly used in Catholic and Orthodox traditions. The Nicene Creed, a statement of Christian belief that affirms the core tenets of the faith. The Apostles' Creed, a shorter statement of Christian belief that is often recited in Christian worship thousands of times. And I never got the man I was praying for. After a while, I just gave up on prayer. But you told me this course was different, and I heard about the success stories. And when you started teaching me, my eyes just bulged wide open. It was like a whole new reality was opening up to me. It taught me exactly why my prayers weren't working and how to fix it. And it gave me prayers that were 100 times more powerful than what I'd been saying. One of them was only 10 words. And when the 2 weeks were up, these prayers started working. And they worked almost immediately. This is truly a game changer, and I recommend it to anyone having any lack in their life. This will change everything for you. Even if you're not a spiritual person, this can work for you, just like it worked for Mace Miller. Hey folks, I'll be honest, I don't believe in any woo-woo magic astrology BS, so I would be the last person to try the Divine Dialogue. But my wife had such an incredible transformation when she took this, so of course, I had to give it a chance. It was like she was a different person. She was happier, she was calmer, more giving, and she was making more money than me. That bugged me. So I said, what the hell? It only takes a few minutes to say some gobbledygook. I really can't lose by trying it, right? I watched the first video about transcending intention. That really blew my mind. And every video after that just took me deeper into this rabbit hole. I've never learned wisdom so deep. Then the 2 weeks were up, and it was time to deploy these prayers. At first, nothing happened. Well, something small happened. This will sound really dumb, but what happened was right after my first prayer, a piece of red meat came out of my teeth that was stuck there for 3 days. Maybe it would have happened anyway, but it made me happier, and I appreciated that. Then things started to get bigger. I go watch my son play baseball, and he hit 2 home runs, winning the game. He generally was always an easy strikeout. This was unheard of for him. I was so proud, and I was happier still. So I tried another prayer, and another one, and more good things kept happening to me. On the street, I run into an old friend that I haven't seen in years. We're now going to be in touch. I could say any one of those things would have happened without the prayer, but the fact that they all happened and so close together made me believe my luck had changed due to these prayers. It's just been a cascade of positivity since then, and it all started when I began using these prayers. I shared the Divine Dialogue with my Facebook group one night, and when I woke up the next morning, it was in 53 countries. By now, 10,489 people have taken the course, and we have almost nothing but 5-star reviews. Folks, I promise you, the Divine Dialogue is going to work for you, and they are going to impact every aspect of your life. And the great thing is how easy it is. As I said, one of the most powerful prayers is just 10 words. Anybody can say 10 words. And when you do, your relationships will improve, your finances will improve, your health will improve, your energy will improve. I can't think of one thing that won't get better when you have the Divine Dialogue. I know it seems too good to be true. How could just saying a few words make a difference? Well, I ask you back. How do a few thoughts make the law of attraction work? How many dreams have been fulfilled through the law of attraction through just a few thoughts? It doesn't take much to manifest your dreams. It just had to be done the right way and in the right order. If a few thoughts make that much of a difference, then what do you think the spoken word can do? It's 10 times more powerful. The spoken word is more powerful than thoughts, and that's why people have been specifically praying with the spoken word for 40,000 years. That's right. Archaeological evidence suggests that religious practices and beliefs were present among our ancient ancestors, such as Neanderthals and Homo sapiens, as far back as 40,000 to 50,000 years ago. They knew what you're about to know, that the right prayers said in the right way, in the right order, is magic. And once you put these prayers into practice on a daily basis, it's like a ray of light on the darkness of your life. And as the Melechim taught me, it only takes a little bit of light to dispel great darkness. Look, you're not getting any younger. The beauty of Divine Dialogue is that even if you're 75 years old and in a nursing home, you can do them. You will feel the warm energy this creates. This will not only help you live longer, it will make you happier living. It will make everyone happier in their skin, and that's worth everything. So hit the button now. Let's say you're religious. This is only going to enhance your relationship with God, more than church or synagogue ever could. You will understand God in ways very few people do. Real knowledge of the Creator is power. Real knowledge of your soul is true power. But let's say you're an atheist. You can still use these prayers to change your life. Think of them as meditations, mantras. Call them whatever makes you feel good. You are science-minded, so test these out scientifically. I encourage you to put the Divine Dialogue to the test. So hit the button now. The button will only be there for a limited time. Click it now. See if people you pray for get better. See if you win prizes. See if you get that raise. See if you get pregnant if you're having fertility issues. Which reminds me, Tilda Henry wrote to us an interesting email. She said, "We've been having infertility issues. We were married 8 years and nothing. Then we heard about the Divine Dialogue. That was about 12 months ago. We figured, why not try it? We've tried everything else. Let's go for the woo-woo." And guess what? Yep, she was eating for 2 a few months later. We have a newborn baby named Nina, the love of our life. And we can't say for sure, but we suspect that it had everything to do with the Divine Dialogue, because that's the only thing that really changed. We tried IUL and even IVF. Nothing worked. Well, nothing worked but the Divine Dialogue. We say these prayers to Nina every single night before she goes to bed. And my gosh, she really sleeps like a baby, which is probably what she should be doing. We've had a lot of people write in with insomnia, people who couldn't sleep more than 2 hours a night. Now they sleep 6, 7, or even 8 hours because they had a Divine Dialogue on their lips when they hit the pillow. It really makes a difference. Even if you're not an insomniac, it's going to give you better quality sleep. And when you use our strategies, you just have to close your eyes and you're a goner. Hit the button right now. This may be your last chance. Let's talk about what Divine Dialogue includes. The intro will begin with the secret of prayer. Then we'll go into the 5-minute video about manifesting your dreams. This is where you'll start to get everything you want. The 5-minute video is really all you need to live your dream life. But we offer even more. We offer videos that will teach you exactly why some prayers get answered and others don't. Next, you're going to reset your mindset around prayer. We wipe your brain of any negative experiences and beliefs you ever had around prayer. Not only that, but we also install the new beliefs about prayer, the ones that will make all your prayers effective, every one that you'll ever utter from this day on. In the next 7 videos, we'll give you the 7 keys to making prayers more successful. Each one builds on the other. Each one goes deeper than the other. There will be fireworks going off in your brain when you watch these 7 keys videos. The 5-minute Divine Dialogue is what actually gets you the results, and we do that right away. But the supplemental videos take you deeper. We'll show you how to get measurable, scientific results that you can show to any scientist to prove prayer really does work when done right. And finally, in the last video, we'll teach you how to deal with success. It's strange, but a lot of people succeed in life and become less happy. We need to make sure that doesn't happen to you. And the key to preventing that is humility and gratitude. H and G. We'll show you the absolute best, fastest way to achieve H and G. And this combination is going to ensure that your happiness grows with your success, so you truly have the good life that most people just dream about. Hit the button now for the experience of your life. I believe in divine providence. You might have guessed that. That means I believe you landed on this video for a reason. And if you watched this video up until this point, if you dedicated that much of your life into this, it can't be for nothing. It can't be that you just walk away from this empty-handed. So I remind you, it's guaranteed. McFly, wake up. You can't lose. You get all your money back in a day if you want it. So why not just give it a whirl? Why not try something that could lead to greatness? Athletes go their whole lives looking for something that will give even a small edge in life. Here you have it. It's on a silver platter. And you don't just get an edge, you get an entirely new life. But only if you want it bad enough to smack that button below. Fill out the form. I wish you that all your prayers be answered and answered